Hey guys, it's me, Game Status, here with another video. So first off, before we jump into the video, I wanted to say sorry for not uploading one last week. It's the end of the semester, so I've been really busy with final exams and everything. But so today is a music topic video, and I will be reviewing or ranking J. Cole's albums from worst to best. So J. Cole is my favorite artist. I just think he is a very good rapper. I don't necessarily think he's the best rapper, but as I said, he's my favorite. So let's get right in. So I will be including two of his most popular mixtapes, which is Friday Night Lights and The Warm Up, besides his regular discography, because those are pretty well known. Most people who at least are fans of J. Cole have heard those albums or mixtapes. So I'm going to include those. So what I think is his worst album or my least favorite album, number 6, his debut album, Cole World, A Sideline Story. And now I say this mainly for one reason. This album kind of is set apart from the rest. It just has a different sound. And what I determined was that the sound was immaturity. It just sounds a lot more immature than all of his other albums, and this might be because he just got into the industry. He's working with Jay-Z, all these other artists, Kanye, and so he has all these different influences, but he doesn't know how to put it into one cohesive album. But so this was very good for a debut album, but I didn't like it compared to all of his other records. There were some very honorable mentions in the album, such as Lost Ones, a really, really great song, as well as In the Morning, which had the Drake feature. And there were several songs, like I said, that I liked, but I didn't like some of the flashier ones, like Mr. Nice Watch. That was just really bad, and I think that was kind of him leaning towards like the Kanye era. But so that is what I think is, in my opinion, his worst album. So now moving on to number 5 is his mixtape Friday Night Lights. Now any hardcore J. Cole fans will probably be mad at me for this one, because this is what a lot of people say their favorite piece of work by Cole is. But as I said in the Kanye rankings, I'm kind of basing this off of pure opinion for now. And a big factor in that is listenability and how much I can replay it without it getting annoying. But so Friday Night Lights I do really enjoy, and for one of his first mixtapes, it's amazing. It's better than most people's actual albums, but I don't think it's as good as the rest of his. And I'll talk about his other mixtape later on down the list. But so this one, my favorite tracks from it would have to be Two-Face and Vilmatic. Vilmatic, I did really enjoy that song because that was him rapping over Kanye's instrumentals from Devil in a New Dress, and it was just really good. But so now, moving on to number 4, I'm going to say Born Sinner. And now, Born Sinner, I actually have that in physical copy. It's one of the first albums I heard from him. I got it near the time it released. And now, it was a really good album, and it still is. But it's lacking one thing that I like a lot in albums, which is a linear story. And now this one has hardly any story at all, if any. And there are good songs on it still. It just doesn't like flow together that well. But so that's why that's a little lower on the list for me. But some of my favorite songs in this would be Forbidden Fruit with Kendrick Lamar, which I was very disappointed about, because when you hear the names Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole in the same song, you're like, wow, I bet that's amazing. And it was a good song, but Kendrick hardly had any part in it. He just did a little bit of the chorus. And then I also liked Runaway, about his relationships and stuff. And now moving on to number 3, I'm going to say his mixtape, The Warm Up. Now, this is his second piece of work that he came out with, and it came out in 2010, I believe. It's my favorite mixtape by him. I listen to it very frequently. I just think it's pretty amazing for it being his second piece of work for him to put out. And my favorite songs on this would definitely be Dreams. It's kind of like a psychotic story. And then Dead Presidents 2. I really liked both of those songs. And all of the songs I really like on these. It just flowed really well. And it just seems like J. Cole. And now to the number 2 spot, I'm going to go with his most recent album, For Your Eyes Only, released in 2016. Actually, a year ago, yesterday, it released. And now, I really do like this album, but there's a big factor in it that makes me put it not for number 1. First of all being, it's really short. It only has 10 tracks, and that's almost unheard of nowadays. Most artists have at least 14 or above, but it was still good. But the main problem with it is the story. Now, it's probably his most storytelling and thematic album that he has, but there's an issue with how he does it. Because you can listen to the last song, For Your Eyes Only, and that be the only song you hear and get the entire story just from that one song. Everything else hardly attributes to the storytelling. Only maybe She's Mine Part 1 and 2. Those two kind of help with the story a little bit because it helps show that the album is kind of from J. Cole's perspective as well as his friends that died, which you see the best in For Your Eyes Only. And now the other songs are good, like Immortal and Changes. I really like those, especially the meaning and the moral that he provides in Changes. But they don't really give anything to the overarching theme at all, or the story really. But besides that, it was a good album. Besides the song Folding Clothes, I didn't really like that one. But, so to number 1 spot, what most people who like J. Cole would agree with me on is 2014 Forest Hills Drive. So this is the one, if you get an argument with any J. Cole stan, they will bring this up. And because this is his one where he went double platinum with no features. It's an excellent piece of work, and I definitely agree with that. It's super good, and it doesn't necessarily have like a linear story like I was discussing with For Your Eyes Only, but it also kind of does, because like the name 2014 Forest Hills Drive, that was his address from when he lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And so when you think of it like that, you realize that some of the songs are kind of memories from his life, and transitioning periods from when he was living there, such as '03 Adolescence. That was like him in high school, wanting to be cool like his friends. And January 28th. And also the song Apparently. I really like that song. And that's kind of dedicated to his mom, because he kind of didn't give her the credit she deserved, because she raised him all by herself, and then he moved away to New York for like 6 years, I think. But this album was very good. The only song I didn't really like was Note to Self, which is the last song on the album, I think, the 9-minute one. And it's just not my favorite, but all the other songs I really like, and it kind of shows his more aggressive, competitive side in songs like GOMD, Fire Squad, and A Tale of Two Cities. I really like those three. And J. Cole's not known for bangers, but the ones that he has put out are definitely those three. They're really good, high energy, and yeah. So these were my thoughts and opinions on what J. Cole's best and worst albums were from his discography. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Also, here's a little announcement. I now have a SoundCloud, so if you guys would be kind enough to go check that out and give me a follow. I've been working really hard making music. I really enjoy talking about music as well as actually creating it, so go check that out. I'll have the link in the description down below. If you want more content like this as well as sneaker content, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.